Hey everyone, my name is Vicky and this is Baileythecavapoo. We hope that you're all doing well and staying safe. In our last week's video, I asked you to leave any questions or assumptions that you had about owning a Cavapoo, and in this week's video, we're going to answer them. Most of this week's questions have come off our Instagram page, which is named Vicky and Bailey as well, so if you want to give us a follow, that's how you can find us. If you're also new to this channel, then feel free to subscribe to see weekly videos of myself and of Bailey. So some of you assume that Cavapoos can be quite prone to separation anxiety. Separation anxiety can vary a lot between dog to dog, but we're very fortunate that Bailey doesn't suffer from it. Let's say that Cavapoos are companion dogs and Bailey absolutely loves to be in our company. So even when he's napping, he'll like to follow us around between each room of the house, which we find really endearing, but it can be sometimes problematic if you work away from home. I've seen some owners refer to their Cavapoos as stalker-poos just because they like to follow you around all the time. So I personally find it very endearing that Bailey likes to follow us around, but it isn't for everybody, which is why I often recommend to a lot of people that a Cavapoo might not be the best breed for them if they work full time. If you do work full time and you want to get a Cavapoo, that's completely fine, but I would recommend getting someone to visit the house during the day, just take them out to the toilet and just to break it up a bit for them. So if you have a Cavapoo and you know that you're going to be leaving them for prolonged periods of time, I'd really recommend gradually building up while you're still at home, just so the puppy gets used to being in their own company. So if you are going to leave them alone, you can help combat separation anxiety by just gradually building up over time. Also, if you are leaving them on their own, make sure they have ample space and somewhere to use the toilet. So another assumption that we had in our Instagram was that Cavapoos are easy to train. Now with Bailey, I absolutely agree. I think Cavapoos are very obedient breeds and they're very smart and quick to learn. But within this, all dogs are unique, and I definitely think that everyone will experience a bit of a sticking point with their dog. So one of Bailey's main issues when he was a younger dog was also his recall. Now we struggled with that quite a lot, but it definitely improved as he got a bit older. So if you are struggling with any behavioural issues, don't worry, they do improve with time. But with training, it is a mutual relationship, and I like to think that you get out what you put in. So if there is a problem, you need to invest a lot of time just to straighten that out, and then they'll become these wonderfully behaved dogs. So one of the questions and assumptions we had was that the grooming of a Cavapoo can be quite expensive or difficult to keep up. So from owning Bailey for 2 years and getting him groomed quite regularly, I would like to say that I wouldn't let the price deter you from getting a Cavapoo. It can be quite affordable to maintain the coat to a good standard. So I'd reckon we get Bailey professionally groomed around 4 times a year, and then in between there we do a lot of clippings ourselves. So especially over the lockdown period, myself and Jade have just been cutting Bailey's fur to keep it kind of short for the summer, and that's just been with regular scissors. So as the Carapoo is quite a small dog, I would guess that it costs around £25 to £35 to get them groomed. Another way that you can lower the cost of maintaining the coat is that you could invest a little bit up front in buying some decent clippers, and then you can do it yourself from home. Overall, I think it can be quite affordable to keep your dog's coat well maintained. Now, when Bailey goes to the groomers, we always ask for a teddy bear cut, but before he goes in, we try and remove any lugs ourselves just to make sure that he doesn't come back too short. Hello. You okay? Oh, hey cutie. Another question that we've also been asked is, did Bailey's coat become curlier with age? Now, I think Bailey's coat has always had a wave to it, but because he's a first generation Cavapoo, I don't think he's too curly. So you can see on top of his head, it's quite loose waves, but we really like how that looks. So we've also received a question regarding zoomies, which is also known as hyper hour, or just the dogs in general being quite energetic. Now when Bailey was younger, he was very lively, and I do think he's calmed down a little bit now that he's turned 2. But he does still have these big spurts of energy. So I hear tales of some being more problematic than others, but Bailey was always quite well behaved. He just wanted to play with us. So when the puppy does have a lot of this energy, it's always good to play with them, take them outside or take them on a walk just to burn it off and bring them back to a normal state. Another assumption was that everyone will want to cuddle your dog. Now, I can't agree with this more. Bailey is so popular whenever we go out anywhere, especially when Dan and I took him to Llandudno. Everyone made such a fuss of him. He's definitely the star of the show. So besides Bailey just being super cute in general and really soft looking, which means people want to touch him, he also looks a lot like Waffle Dog, which is a children's show on the BBC. So we often get stopped by children saying, "Oh look, it's Waffle Dog." But Bailey normally handles the attention really well. Now another assumption which made me laugh at the time was that Bailey's perfectly behaved now that he's an adult. And he is very well behaved, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely still a cheeky chap. You having a cuddle? Yeah? So one of Bailey's favourite hobbies is stealing socks. Even though he's 2, he's never quite got over his love for them. Then there was another assumption that we had which absolutely hit the nail on the head, which is that it's difficult but very rewarding, and I just couldn't agree more. I think with a dog it's definitely a relationship and you do get out what you put in. So I think it's such a rewarding experience to bring up a dog, and I absolutely love the bond that me and Bailey have, but it does take a lot of time and effort to get there. So Bailey's already looking down because I've got them out. But one of the other questions was what toys are ideal for a Cavapoo and what does Bailey like the most? Now, Bailey likes just about anything that squeaks. So one of Bailey's favourite toys is the squeaky sprout from Pet Face, but he also has a big range of fruits that he loves. Now, he also really likes soft toys, and this is one of his favourites. It's a little dory fish, and he often just likes to carry that around in his mouth. Another question that I've been asked is, do I recommend crate training? Now, I think this is a personal choice between you and your family of what's best for your dog, but we personally did crate train Bailey and I would recommend it just because it creates a safe space to keep the puppy. So another question that complements this quite nicely was, is Bailey crate trained at night? Now, originally we did crate train him when he was a younger dog, but now that he's an adult, he actually sleeps upstairs with us. He really enjoys a cuddle at night, and we also like him being there with us. Another question that I've been asked is what brush is best, or what can I recommend for the Carapoo coat? Now, I think for Bailey's ears especially, I like to use a wire brush just because it gets a bit deeper and it really straightens out his ears. But there's a lot of different brushes that work really well for the coat. Now, one thing that I would actually recommend is a tangle teaser or a wet brush, which is actually made for human hair. We've also been asked about what Bailey's favourite food is to eat. So normally Bailey eats a diet of dry dog food biscuits and also some wet pouches just to break it up. He particularly likes chicken and steak, but pretty much anything he can get his paws on. In this question, we were also asked about pet insurance and is it worth it? Now, we personally don't have pet insurance for Bailey, but we do have money set aside if something was to happen, and I would really recommend it for most people. A lot of the time, accidents can happen that you weren't anticipating, and it makes it a lot easier to have pet insurance there. Another question which I've also been asked, which I thought was quite a fun one, was does Bailey bark at the TV and also when he sees dogs on the TV? Now, Bailey doesn't actually bark at the TV, but I do spot him watching it sometimes, and there's particular adverts that he likes to watch. Bailey particularly enjoyed watching the Lloyd's TSB advert when that came on the TV. It's basically just some horses running down the beach, but Bailey loved watching at the TV when that was on. Bailey also enjoys watching some nature documentaries, and I just find it super cute to watch his reaction while the TV's on. Hi, you okay? Hi, darling. So another question is also, when did we start bathing Bailey? Now, we brought Bailey home at about 11 weeks old and we didn't give him a bath straight away. And it's quite important that you don't bath them too often or too soon, just because it can strip the coat and the skin of its natural oils. We tend to give Bailey a bath just when he needs it. So for example, if we take him out on a walk and he gets dirty, we'll always wash him afterwards. But the dog's coat is quite self-regulating, unlike ours, so it doesn't need frequent washing. Hey everyone, we hope that you enjoyed watching this week's video of me and Bailey. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and press subscribe to see more videos of me and Bailey in the upcoming weeks. We hope that you have a great week and we'll see you again soon. So Bailey's currently looking at an insect that's got stuck on the skylight. What do you think, Bailey? Film a video, watch a bug. Film a video, watch a bug. Would you rather watch a bug? Okay.